It's time for Orchard CMS. In a previous video, we created an Orchard core theme from a startup bootstrap template. We just took the index.html and converted it to the layout liquid template. We got everything to work, but we really didn't take advantage of the power of the Orchard Core content management system. In this video, we will be using Orchard Core CMS to integrate dynamic content for the startup bootstrap theme. So a person who doesn't know HTML, CSS, or JavaScript can manage their own content. Welcome back. So let's get started by utilizing Orchard Core CMS to integrate dynamic content for the Creative Startup Bootstrap theme. Okay, let's start up Visual Studio 2019. All right. So let's go ahead and run the application just to refresh our memory. All right, there's our application. We can hit the About button, our Services button, Portfolio, and our Content. So still working as before. So let's go ahead and log into the dashboard. So let's specify /admin. Enter our credentials and press Login button. Okay, now let's go to the Content and then Content Items. And you'll notice that there's a landing page, and this was created by the agency theme. So if we go ahead to the design portion and then click on templates and click on landing page, you'll notice that there's a landing page template there with the HTML based off of the agency theme. So we're going to utilize this template, but just replace it with the creative theme HTML. Okay, let's go back to Visual Studio. Okay, great. Now let's go to the resource manifest.cs file here. And you'll notice that this file contains all the manifests for jQuery and Bootstrap and also Font Awesome. So in this file, I went ahead and replaced all of the sections where it used to say the agency theme, and I replaced it with the creative theme. And I also modified the namespace to orchardcore.themes.thecreative theme. And if you go back startup.cs, you'll notice that this is where we call the service collection add scope and add iResource manifest provider in there. So that's all changed and working. So now let's go to our layout.liquid here. And so you notice that this is where we left it off the last time, and this is just the index.html, and the only thing that we did is we replaced the prefix with a / the creative theme / before all of the hrefs and source tags. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to modify the layout liquid template, and then we'll put all of the content inside of the landing page so that if someone wanted to, they could modify the HTML section from the template within the dashboard. Okay, so our first thing is language tag. Since Orchard supports multiple languages, we can replace that with culture.name. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is place a liquid render section tag. So that would be right after viewpoint. And also we want to replace the title page. And let's just go ahead and move these fonts up here, and that all our CSS is in one section here. Let's go ahead and replace all of this down here. Replace this for the resource manifest for Bootstrap. Here's the font Awesome. And then we'll add the custom styles for template for the creative theme. And then for the magnific popup.css. And then we'll add our Bootstrap JavaScript, some more jQuery easing. And then the custom scripts for this template for creative. And then also we need to add resource type head script, and also resource type head link, and also resource type style sheets for injection. So there we go. Let's go ahead and save that. So now what we're going to do is take the remaining part of the code, which is the meat of everything, And let's see. Okay, so now what we're going to do is for the body tag, we'll put the cultural direction in for that so it can support multiple languages. And then for navigation, this is the old navigation for the agency theme. So let's go ahead and delete that. So for the navigation, let's go ahead and instead of hard coding the different menu types, let's go ahead and utilize the Orchard Core CMS and put our menus inside there. So in order to do that, we'll just replace it with this here. And so we're still using the Bootstrap navigation, but the only thing difference is that we're using a menu shape here to specify with 2 parameters, the alias and the cache ID and the cache tag, so that all the menu items will be retrieved from Orchard Core. Okay, great. We'll take all of this section of HTML, move it to the landing page.liquid template. But let's go ahead and take the footer code, because over here there is a footer.html, and let's just replace that there. Okay, so now this can be deleted. And then for all of this, we've already specified that. We're going to replace it with render section header required false. The false meaning that if there's no items, it won't give you an error for the header section. And then dev class container, and then we'll do render section messages, and then content. And then we'll do a render section footer with the resource type of foot script. And that's all specified in the documentation. All right, so let's save that. Now let's head over to our landing page.liquid here. So the first thing we want to do is to replace the header section. So we go back to our layout here. Here's our header section here. I'll cut that out and replace that there. All right, so let's head back to, let's copy the about section here, head over here, and we'll put our about section right here. Great. So let's go ahead and just delete this guy here. Then we're going to head over to the liquid here, and we're going to take this whole guy and copy the service section HTML. We'll actually cut it. Go back to landing page, and we'll just set it, paste it back into here. Okay, great. Now for this, we're going to use a for loop. So just before the row here, we're going to use a for loop for service and model.content item.content.services.content items. So it'll traverse through all of the service items. And so for that, I'll just replace this whole thing here. And then we'll add a N4. So now you can see that we're getting the service.service.iconClass.text and the services.displayText, and then also the service.html bodyPart.html. And we'll define that inside of our creative.recipe later, but we'll just set these tags up here. Okay, great. Now for the portfolio here. So let's go back here and let's take the portfolio section out of here. Cut that, head back to our liquid template, and let's just replace it with this portfolio section. Okay, so we'll do a for loop project in model.content item.content.portfolio.content items. It'll do a for loop with all the content items inside the portfolio. So let's go ahead and we'll replace that there. So now you see this is the end for loop. Div tags line up. Okay, great. Now we don't need any of the about because we don't have an about inside here. So this, we can delete that and delete the team stuff and delete the client stuff and also delete the contact and also the models here. This can be deleted as well. And so we have our own contact section. Let's go ahead and take that. Go here. And we also had a call to action here as well. There we go. So now we have all of this all set up and ready to go. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and modify our creative.recipe and set up all the content items and content definitions in there. Okay, let's head over to creative.recipe.json and let's head down to about line 269. And then we're going to add the services part bag and also the portfolio part bag. And then we added the service and project content type definitions. Okay, great. And then we're going to add the services project and define a thumbnail and an image and also a category for our portfolio. Just add these here. Okay, great. Okay, then after the layers, we're going to add some media files, portfolio images that we're getting from the www root from their asset folders, but we want to store that content in Orchard CMS as an image file. Okay, so we got that. And so here's our menu. And let's go ahead and delete team because we don't need a team menu. And let's delete all the way down and past the portfolio. Okay, so we can go ahead and delete the About section because there's no more About content. And the team section as well. And the client section as well. And there we go. And then we have our templates for our landing page, and it's specified in snippets/landing page. So we've got all of our recipe all configured and set up. Okay, let's go ahead and try running the application now. Let's make sure everything has been saved, and let's exit the recipe, and let's go ahead and hit the green triangle play button. Well, that's great. Everything's running. So now let's see if our creative recipe is in there, and it sure is. Let's go ahead and select that one, and let's go ahead and hit the finish setup button. And there we go. Everything looks really good. Let's go ahead and hit the About, Services, Portfolio, and Contact. Everything looks to be good. Let's head over to the dashboard. So we'll add a /admin, enter our credentials, and then press login. And there we go. So now let's go ahead and check out our content. Since we've defined some new content, we should see a lot of information in there. So let's hit the content button, content items, and let's select the landing page. And there you go. We have a lot more information. There's our home page. We have our services. So we can click on here, and it gives us a title, our HTML body, and our icon class. And here's another service up to date, title, the body, and the icon class. Well, that's great. Now let's go look at the portfolio. And there's our title, our body, our category, and then we have two images. One's our main image, our full image, and then we have a thumbnail. And you can see that those got stored into the media. So it's stored into Orchard Core. That's awesome. Okay, so let's do a little test here. Let's go ahead and do a preview here. It's a nice little feature. Hit the preview button. And let's just head that over here to the side. Okay, let's do it. Let's go ahead and move this icon to the top here. And look at that. A heart moved as well. Let's go ahead and let's move this down to here. And there you go. Just a matter of just moving things around, you can edit your content using Orchard Core. Isn't that amazing? Now to summarize, we created an Orchard Core creative theme from a Start Bootstrap HTML template. We just took the index.html and converted it to a layout liquid template. We also created a landing page liquid template that had just the necessary HTML to customize the landing page. We took the customization a bit further and added dynamic content for the menu, services, and portfolio. We modified the creative recipe to define and create our menu, services, and portfolio custom content. We ran the web application with the custom content enabled. We went to the dashboard and viewed the dynamic custom services and portfolio. We ran in preview mode, changed the order of the services with a mouse. After doing so, the content was also changed. With Orchard Core CMS, you can develop a custom theme so that anyone can create, modify, or delete their content without knowing HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. Now, if you missed or didn't understand something, that's okay. There's a detailed blog post that describes all the steps. There is also a GitHub repository with the complete source code. All this information is in the video description. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up icon. Also, please subscribe and click on the bell icon to get a notification when I release the next video. Thank you for watching.